like this. So this won't work, first of all. Two withdraws that take ints. Withdraw int is already defined. But if I did this, int amount dollars, int pin, compile it, no problem. So if you have different number of parameters, then again Java can tell us apart. How could I call this? Well, for example, int matches this method signature, and Java has no confusion about who to call. Finally, you can change the order of the parameters. For example, let's look at these two. So far they're identical, and all I'm going to do is swap the order. This one takes a double followed by an int. This one takes an int followed by a double. That's okay. I'll compile it. And let's say 1023.3. This compiles. This is allowed. I'm allowed to overload this method, withdraw. In other words, I'm allowed to have multiple withdraw methods because I changed the order of the parameters. Double int, int double. Int double. This one's going to end up with that one being called. So as long as you change the data types of your parameters, say one's an int, one's a string, one's a char, that's fine. Or if you give it a different number of parameters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, you're allowed to reuse the method name. Finally, if you change the order of parameters, these two have the same number of parameters, the same data types, but the order is very clear. When they get called, Java will have no problem telling which one should get called. Notice that the last thing we want to say here, here I've got two of the same methods, and this is irrelevant. The data type, the return type is totally irrelevant. Has nothing at all to do with whether you're allowed to overload methods. These two methods are identical. I try to compile. Withdraw int double is already defined. All that matters is the type of parameters. The name doesn't matter. The return type doesn't matter. If I tried this same thing, I hope this is obvious. If it's not, it should be soon. If I said int pin, int x, double amount dollars, double y, you can tell by the complaint by the compiler. Withdraw int double. It doesn't care about the name. It says you already have an int followed by a double. So if you have an int and a double, it doesn't know which one to call here. You're not allowed to do this. I won't compile. You're not allowed to just change the names. These are irrelevant to Java. You must change the data type, the number of parameters, or the order of parameters. There's our list. Those are the things you must do in order to reuse the same method name. How important is this? This is 10 out of 10 in importance. For example, system.out.println. Well, you know you can put anything in here. Doubles, ints, chars, booleans, strings, string followed by a char, string followed by an int, followed by another string. It all works. This is a very heavily overloaded method. We use overloaded methods all the time. This is definitely quizzable. Okay, I'll end this and start a new one in a minute.